Mike V from TGH is opportunity. It's opportunity knocking. All right. Tradeview Market sponsors TGH. Let's get right into it. Okay. Always in TGH. The one thing I would stress right now is we owe it to more and more viewers to get right into a little bit more of what's going on now. First thing everybody should be doing is going to our YouTube channel. Not only do we do a couple of videos a day of quality and quantity, sometimes, believe me, I get cut off. I talk so much, I could talk for hours. Coach already gave a Monday morning plan. Actually, active trading, I see, already got 60 views streaming an hour ago. I wish I got 60 views. Go back into our YouTube channel, know where we're about. Okay, so let me tell you, there was, for those in real time, as the market pulls back, typical. Hold on a second, UVXY, if the market pulls back, let's get a little more prudent here. This is my process, as there was, a Middle Eastern situation or attack. I believe it was Saturday night. So I'm saying to myself, okay, plans start to develop and scenarios start to develop. Here's a chart on the spot, long term. Okay, there we go, coming down to 50-day, by the way. But Q's long term. Okay, coming also to the 50-day. Very interesting. I didn't know that there was that ominous or that close to what's going on to breaking, if you will. I was really just trading, trading stock here. I'm trading DXYZ. Stock has a 13-point range. I'm in it. You know what I mean? CPNG. Here's the long term. Hold on. Here's the long term on CPNG. I'm in it. Stock's trading what? 10 million a day. Stock went from 19 to 22. The other one, BXYZ. BXYZ, as I do pay more. I was bringing it up with the XYZ. I was bringing up with the coach. This is going to be more of a cerebral market, as I can even see that the liquidity to a degree is dying down. And once again, it feels like only a couple of stocks are holding up to a degree. DXYZ. This is me, Mike V. Let's look at the 6-minute chart. This was yesterday morning. Stock was 54. Closed at 29. I'm in it. I'm actually buying it this morning. I bought it at the close on Friday. Actually, I bought it a little bit before the close. You know what? I was thinking about this. I was telling Surfs Up and Alexis the difference of 8 minutes. Let's look at, for example, Friday afternoon. Okay. Here we are at the close. Let's per se 29. I started nimbly. This thing is 32. All of a sudden, I'm down $3. Now, hold on a second. I know what I'm doing. I'm well aware of not letting the trade turn into position. It was a Friday. Things were getting unwound, especially with a stock that was $110, I believe, at the beginning of the week. Okay, so I get it. So this morning, I bought it after hours. Stock closed at 29. I'm selling it where? Even if you say I'm shorting, I'm still up, but I'm selling it, trust me. Selling between 35.70. I actually got one of the high ticks, 36.40. After I sold it, it was 32. It's in a range. Okay. Getting back to a couple of things. Aside from the Middle Eastern situation being almost too common, if you will, for me, I'll tell you how I knew things were okay. Let me get back to my original situation. So if I go to my Twitter feed, all right, always go to my Twitter feed. I mean, I don't like a lot of people, right? I only follow 73 people, and I do go to my likes. Your public likes are publicly visible. Go to my likes. This is important information. I can't remember everything as I'm reading and dissecting information over the weekend. Goldman lifts its year-end forecast. Bearish, believe me. Breaking. I'm more interested, as I said before, with the Middle Eastern situation. I've always said, and I still believe, by how the market reacted. Let me get back to my original point. And this is the first thing that I was waiting for. Sunday night after Saturday night, VIX continues its stage 2 breakout for Dale Pinkert. That's interesting. It doesn't matter what the instrument it is. A stage 2 breakout is something stage 2 breakouts are either going to waffle and stay, between a consolidation or continuing breaking out. That's not, I like to see it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I hope it goes to stage 3. Actually, stage 2. Stage 3 is consolidation as well to a degree. All right, so this is what I wanted to say. And our friend Rev, for example, where's this on Rev? And I wanted to, and that was, this is when one direction of my plan started to go another way. Rev. And he said this, what was this? Sunday night. You got to follow who I follow. These people are pros. Israeli stocks open. Okay, this was late. This was Sunday morning. I texted it to the Tradeview room. Israeli stocks open slightly higher after Iran drawing attack oil. All right. I agree with Rev. I'm not all worried about the market reaction Monday. I've seen this before. Ukraine, whatever it may be. I understand they have a short-term shock, but just like last time, crude didn't pop on the news. It sold off on the last news. It's selling off now. Okay, keep this in mind. So right then I knew that there's going to be, the VIX is still in the stage 2 breakout. There's going to be volatility, but I don't think that the war or the attack is going to drive the market. You know what's going to drive the market? This. Let's go right here. Even go to my likes coming up this week. What were my likes today? Earnings, first of all, if I repeat. Goldman Sachs. All right, let's go to my likes. It's an important lesson. Tesla announces its largest ever layoffs, cutting 15,000 jobs according to internal memo. I'm looking for a Tesla washout. Or I'm looking for more of a reaction. I'm wanting to see if this is the baby with the bathwater situation. It's an old Wall Street expression, but nobody hears me buying Tesla right now. I understand it's making higher lows, but okay, I'm aware. Right now nobody's got an interest in it. So right now I want to watch Tesla into earnings. Okay, who had earnings this morning? Goldman Sachs. All right, Goldman had earnings. Didn't break a new high, I get it. Goldman Sachs at one point was 412, now it's 402. It came in 10. But the big thing to look at, the real gauge, is JP Morgan, which was down what? JP Morgan still can't catch a bid below this is my rule, below the 50-day. If only I can get it on the long side, the same discipline. I changed my rule this year. I don't short any stocks above the 50, at least overnight, above the 50-day. The 50-day is the blue. All right, there's JP Morgan. So you look at Goldman Sachs, which at one point it came in 10 as it was up 23. Like I'm short Goldman now, right? I'm short JP Morgan. All right, so you short JP Morgan right at the 50-day. I have too much junk. I'm so pissed off as the VIX gets higher. I got to work out these small little low floaters positions that they usually do pop, but the risk isn't worth the reward. I got to sometimes they pop at 4 in the morning, from 4 in the morning, like from 4:42 a.m. to like 4:58 a.m. and they pop 20%, and then everybody gets out, and then I got to wait another quarter to do the same thing. I'm aggravated with it. Let's get back to the JP Morgan short. So you come in, Goldman's up 24. JP Morgan at the most was up what, 3? No, 4. 187 is the high. So it's up $1. That tells me if this was 3 weeks ago and JP Morgan was up as much as Goldman would be as much percent as what. Things change this way. I'm not saying a top is in. I'm saying with the VIX at a stage 2 breakout and stocks, I mean, a lot of stocks had a lot of speculative stocks, like these solars, had plenty of time to have that beach ball snap to go up. It didn't. Solar stocks, for example, Fizzler, the best of breed, which hanging on the best. What's that doing? All right, so Fizzler, best of breed. There you go. You want to buy a solar stock. Okay. Let's look at another thing. What else do I want to bring up? I'll go to I'm more interested in this. TLT, heaviest downside weekly volume. That was from Next Big Trade, our boy. All right. So like I've been saying, I know when it was more speculative, I just treated the stocks and the charts like lines and numbers, but now I'm actually being a little bit more cerebral, which I don't know how I should take it. But TLT, it doesn't matter what it is. Suppose it was uranium. Suppose it was EVs. Heaviest downside volume in 2004 last week. Noted. Market breadth off highs. We're more. I'm more. This was more telling than anything. And this news came out Friday before the any attack in Middle East, if you will. Aluminum, nickel prices surge. after UK. All right, so they took up nickel and they took up all the other commodities. Now, where's nickel now? Alcoa was up big. Alcoa gave it all back. I don't like that. Actually, the Alcoa gave up some. All right. It's all has to do how price action, how stocks are taking the news. That's it. Lilly up $8. Okay, Charles Schwab's up 2. Let's look at that thing. That's a rat, but it's holding above the moving averages. I don't care if it's a rat. It's hard to break an opinion. Bottom line, I don't care if it's Schwab and they make widgets or it's lithium. Stock's looking good for the moment. I'm keeping in mind that it's obviously with, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. Let's look at Hood. I shorted that this morning. Could have been somebody. Now, hold on. I don't know why I covered this Hood. Look at this thing. I shorted a bunch of Hood, a ton of it. 1812. Now it's 1760. It's not a barn burner, but it's a winner. Can I have this? Maybe I do 8,000. I'm up a half in it. By the end of the close, maybe I pile into another 8. Then all of a sudden I make $1.50, hopefully in it. I don't know. It's how it happens. Retail giving it back again. VFC a minute, you bastard. Commodities gave it back. Nougat. There you go. H, you happy? I didn't see the review come up yet, by the way, on Trustpilot. But there you go. Nougat, 43 to 37. Now going the other way. Okay, let's look at FCX hanging in CF, EOG, oils, Schwab, like I said, hanging in. Coin, every Friday closes strong, every freaking Monday morning sells off. I wish I was disciplined enough for this trade, but I'm not, because I handle a little bit more variety of financial instruments, but this is a gimme. CLH, short it when it's down. What am I doing? Short it when it's down, CLH. Don't short it when it's up. I know everybody's going to say, I knew it was going to happen here. I knew it. But this is the double top right here with the volume break. Right here. 91. Same with ANF. Now you want to keep shorting these things when they're down. You want to buy it? Reevaluate it. Where's the other one that Okay, Uber. Net. You know what? All these other cybersecurity stocks were breaking before the NASDAQ. CRWD, ZS. Look at the ZS. Worst, best of worst. Now there's nothing underneath it. And this neck won't break. This is literally one of the most expensive stocks here, but this gap up is holding everybody in it. Once this breaks, this is going down. Where's CLS, by the way? The last of the Mohicans. And I know Amazon, let's see, the last to go. I get it. I get the picture. I'm going to give you the Amazon trade. You want the Amazon trade? This is the Amazon trade. I don't doubt the fact that it's heavy. As opposed to 3 days ago. Okay. Stock's what? $180? Buy some in the money calls. Go for calls in this. Don't tie up your capital in a lot of this contra trade. I haven't looked at the premiums in the options. Donald Trump. I haven't looked at the premiums in the options in this Amazon, especially in the money, meaning in the money, always shorter term in the money. Always short term in the money. Donald Trump Enterprises was $79 at the beginning of the month. 27.16, Donnie. That's why I do some things, why I do it. Now I'm going to try to stab it right here. Where's the high on this? This high. High of the day, top left. High of the day that day was 25.85. Right here. So, you want to take a stab? I don't know. Better trades out there. What's better, DJT down here or Amazon long short? I know they're 30% short in here, but we'll move on. It's a Monday morning. There's always something to do. Look at the board. ANF, Wayfair, broken. And you know what? I tell you, I stayed away from this. They were taking a ton of calls. These calls, they fooled everybody. Now, by the way, this bodes good for, Wayfair is going down like this. You think Amazon would take some pressure off? I know they don't go hand in hand. I get it. Let's look at Walmart. Listen, I'm more interested in earnings. That's bottom line is. I'm more interested in how Goldman pairs with JP Morgan. Bottom line is I'm keeping Middle Eastern situations. Obviously, at the forefront. I'm keeping VIX at the forefront. I'm keeping the TLT at the forefront. I'm changing, if anybody that follows the videos, I'm not just trading, I'm not just saying I have the, Marvell, and I look up and at lunch, I look at you coach's video and I usually say, what the hell happened? I know what's going on. I don't feel like I'm being brave here. GCT. Let's look at here. Oh, here you go. Let's look at the main screen. If I'm going along, pull the plug, whatever, man. Goldman Sachs breaking low. There you go, the big daddy. So JP Morgan was up at $1.50 last time I bought it. I know you don't not in it to make 50 cents on $180 stock, but there it is. Going to the gap. Tesla, Riven, not trading it out of it. There it is. This is not my type of trade. If I'm going to concentrate some things, and I'm down a decent amount, it's a couple of weeks. I'll tell you what I'm down. I'm down 6 figures in RBNC. I am. And I don't, you know what? I'm I'm more pissed off than I'm down in WBA long, for example, or VFC long. Ugh, that was positive. Than I am being down 6 figures in RVNC. It's not like I'm long the Riven where listen, there's no excuse to it. I have a plan. I'm not averaging down, believe me. It's a position that was from a trade. Listen to RVNC. This is what happened. I'll tell you, it is what it is. Okay, I took it this night, right here, the volume breakout, wasn't even overbought. Probably should have sold it 567. Now I'm in it from my average price is like, here it is. It's like 624. I'm not going to add to it. I know I'm going to turn around and it's going to pop. It usually does. It just freaking, like you said, you hold some of these losers there. It's not mentally taxing. It just gets me mad. It's like when I'm at the plate and I'm batting, I go 5 for 5 at the plate, but on the big screens, it's showing me striking out 10 times in a row. How are you going to look at it? Okay, what else? That was a pretty good analogy. DJ Train. Yeah, they're selling it. There's the news on DJT. I follow brief. See this? I follow briefing.com. That's on one of the pages I follow here. And you have to. That's what there is. The news. Following was my latest news. Goldman got out of gold. They loved it. They're so typical. They upped their price target. I got too many windows open now. Now even I'm getting nervous. DJT Media. All right, you got to see how this closes. This could do a DXY. I don't even know why I'm involved. The reason why I'm in this, it's volatile. It's a little liquidity. I'm staying honest. It's what I do. Do I have any questions? Anybody before I start unblocking 14 windows? Tradeview markets, TradeGATEHub. What's this? Share. You share. Go into the videos. Coach, watch this. Coach, garnering 20 views since I started. Was it 60 views? Coach, it's a 25% jump since I started this. Bravo, coach. Leads by example, makes me better. Bottom line, maybe he's giving a good, you know what? I'm gonna have to look, on in 1 minute. All right, let's go wise, guys. Bottom line. Calva, DXY. Okay, this is what I see on my other feed here as I shut down this window. And I'm gonna share it to everybody. One thing we do here is transparent. Tony Pistachio, hang in there. Cavill highs, dollar VIX, Apple at the highs. Okay, market hit the day's lows. What's going on here? Weisenheimer's. If you know what Weisenheimer is, that's from the Honeymooners. Okay, let's look at least the last half an hour on the Jesus feed. I would have already posted something that would be relevant. Google bearish. Where's that from? Coach will ask. May. Nevada. SMCI. For those surfers. Where are we now? 514. Go to 508. Where are we now? 511. All right, go to 508. I'll be right there. 508. We'll be fine. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We got it. Go ahead, Bush. It's finally warmer up here in the upper mountains of New York State. As you can see on the bottom here, 57 degrees and mostly cloudy. It's like Bermuda. So Tony Pistachio is doing a little more enjoying. All right, so there's for those wave theorists. There it is. I get it. Hopefully they overshoot. I'd love it to go to 600. Children's place bearish. Oh, Mike V, one of his bigger losers this year, but not as bad as it could have been. When he was short this thing and it showed 100. It was 60. It showed 100. There's 7. All right. You know what? They're already giving me cues here and telling me what to do. See how Tesla closes. See how Apple closes. See how Amazon closes. TLT, VIX, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the big daddies lead this time. You want to play some speculative stocks. I understand that, but be aware that these low floaters are more prone to go with the futures and against you than they tend to not work at this period of time. I don't know how to articulate it better. Jesus feet, we're coming down here to a little bit of a gap. All right, big deal. Volatility. I'll translate this a little bit more. CVE bearish, tech, AMD, IWM bearish, Apple bullish, Apple. So it's Apple. Net, I brought it up. Somebody's buying calls. AVDL. This is interesting. January. Anything going out to January, I love. Because I have more confidence in the position when it's down. Okay, here it is. You want a stock? AVDL. Line all over the board. It has the word pharmaceutical in it, which I love. It might as well say cancer, if you will, or something like that. It's like what I brought up before. Any of these low floaters I have are pharmaceuticals. They pop like that. That's why I said I would be more upset like being down 10% in a retailer than down 30%. That's how it works. All right. AVDL going out long term. It's got it in it, is a little bit overbought by Wall Street Jesus. Maybe it is to a degree, but it goes on the list. It gets the highlighter. All right. Why not? It's pulling a 7. Every time it pulls a 7, pulls back, pulls an up 7, pulls back. So build a position. Don't buy it here. Out of the money calls. Go to January. Actually, how would I play? I don't know how I would play this yet. I'm giving an example where I shouldn't. Hubs repeat buyer. Pfizer earnings position. It was early. They bought Pfizer this morning calls. But these are the bad calls, aren't they? I can't do it. I wouldn't even speculate on this. When it opened up at 35, I wouldn't freaking flinch. You want to know why? I know if Pfizer opens against me and it goes the other way and I make a little spec, Pfizer down 10% is down $2, if you will. That's going to take me more to make back $2 in Pfizer than it will a freaking low floater. But I have to pay more attention. You get the picture. TLT. All right. So when one of our main feeds here is pumping up oil flow, TLT, Pfizer, maybe some Google in the VIX, it tells me that a little bit more patience. It is what it is. You want something to do, I'll give you something to do. TLT. There it is. Keep an eye on it. All right. Any questions? Hayville highs, TLT could roll, anti-VIX. They're selling at these bastards. Let's move over on here. Here's today's menu. You want the lunch special? There's the lunch special. Most active, mark it down. What are you interested right here? Cavill. Normally trades 3 million, does 15 million. And by the way, Cavill, and should be on my feed because I'm a freaking professional, was the last post right here as crude. Cavill. All right, so Cavill's in there. Crowded trade because everybody wants something to do. I don't. Tesla, oof, most active list. Tesla's on the most active, even with the volume in the news. Got to keep an eye. River's imploding. Silver. Amazon. Gold. That tells you right here. This tells me everything. If I was knocked out and I woke up and I looked at the screen, I go, oh, I get you. Then I'm unsure. Riven Qs, a bunch of ETFs. Let's look at what's active. Let's look at the specials today. Let's look at percent losers for once, not to be negative. Intraday. What are we interested in? Nothing really sexy. Donnie, we brought him up. HKD, CGC, they gave them back. Cannabis. Nobody wants to buy them now on the dip. That's, you know what? Buyers buy higher and sellers sell lower. That's some of the examples of being aware that some, if not most of the times, markets are efficient. It's like being ignorant that there's no racism. You know what I mean? Markets are inefficient. Okay, it's only up the longer, but by the way, the longer you trade or the longer your time frame, I will say this, the longer markets become inefficient. For example, like a CGC or a PLCE. You know what I mean? Or something like that. You have to know the story, what's going on, but and that's a positive for every style of trader. You know, I am aware, Schwab CEO, this is important too. Look at this freaking guy. Schwab's CEO coming on in CNBC. And you know what? Costco. I consider myself an active manager, and I embrace inefficiencies. And the way that the way I embrace inefficiencies is having no ego and not saying this doesn't make sense. It's harder to break an opinion than a bad habit. If I think the children place right here is going to 100, that's my opinion. But if I'm able to establish a habit, then I'm only going to buy the stock if it's above the 50-day. Long term, my habits are going to pay off better than my opinions. Bitcoin looks like a bear flag. Of course, it looks like a bear flag. It's a Monday afternoon. It's a late Monday morning. Mara. Can't believe I took a loss on Mara. Oh, that aggravates me. Carvana calls. Why not? Are they the good kind of Carvana calls? Carvana calls. I don't even want to bring up Carvana calls. It's a small. What is Carvana calls? Somebody just put how much? 227,000 of April 24 calls. I want them app market to bounce. Next. All right. So if they take any questions, I appreciate that. Listen, a couple of things I'm gonna leave off. I didn't go that far overboard. I know I should be going shorter, but like I said, I really could talk. I mean, I talk forever. So with that being said, let's go to TradeGATEHub. Maybe a little bit more trepidation in the markets at that time. That's why we have it here. Get yourself a demo. If you, open the live account or whatever you got to do, ask us. Okay. We're not here to, I'm not, one account doesn't change my life. A lot of accounts may change Tradeview's life, and it has for a variety of people, but it starts with one. Get to know it. We want you to be on here trading. We want the longevity of the trader. I want this to be a community. I don't want people to be here for 4 days. Me concentrate on a lot of, give them a lot of attention and have people disappear. You know what I mean? I want people to come back like I'm one of these old high school coaches. All right, Bank of America earnings still coming up. Financial earnings still, as they led off the end of last week, still leading off the beginning of this week. Bank of America, J&J, Morgan Stanley. I'm going to tell you that had the hangover of wealth management. The FBI raided the offices. Let's see what that does. That's interesting. You want to know why? Because JP Morgan's below the 50-day. Goldman Sachs, I don't know. But Morgan Stanley, after getting that damage, still above actually it is below. We'll see. Morgan Stanley. Nothing really that sexy. Let's try to stay prudent. I gave the lunch specials. Until then, Mike V, I'm going to go back, watch his coach's video that probably garnered another 20 views now. Until then, remember, have a plan. We're always doing something. Feel free to always ask, give opinions, comments, questions, even complaints, so we give you a better product. I'll leave right here. And this is what I was really kind of unaware of to a degree. SPYs currently holding above the 50-day. So certainly if the SPYs break the 50-day, let's see what holds and what doesn't. Certainly if, the rotation stops, then it's going to be, a lot of stocks. Just be aware. Like I said, VIX, TLT, Apple, Google, JP Morgan, and that's it. For the low floaters and for the active traders, I'm not going to lie, it looks like things are slowing down. So take a step back, go over the plan, and realize that sometime